In today's episode, we finally start working on our guest patio.
Woo! Okay, we found where all the ants are coming from.
So we kicked out all the old tenants to make way for a fresh start.
Oh my god. Oh, right there. In my eye. Ow, ow, it's biting my head.
It's like the 5th time I've covered myself.
Come join us as we try to escape all the bugs. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh. Hey there. I didn't know you were watching. Welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be taking on a bunch of random shit today. I don't know what else to say about it. And right now, I'm actually taking on a new project. You guys saw me in the last episode painting this whole part of the shop, and I really don't like how the windows turned out in here. They kind of need some sort of surround. They're just kind of nailed in and look goofy, and there's multi-layers of paint since this whole wall's been painted like at least 3 times. And I want it to kind of match a little bit of the Amish cabin look that we have inside our cabin. So I got some rough cut pine from my neighbor. Thank you, Don. And today I'm just gonna make a window frame that looks a lot like the ones inside the cabin. Then after I knock out that project, because hopefully it doesn't take very long, we'll just keep going and maybe we can get a bunch of little wins today in this episode. Let's do it. I've talked about this in a few other episodes, but these are basically just leftovers from Don cutting down a bunch of wood that he's using to build a house. That wood needs to be graded, and I don't know how that whole system works at all, but these are not good enough. A lot of them, if you turn them sideways and stuff, they'd have to be planed. They kind of get wider and thinner in different areas, or they just ended up not being to spec for one reason or another. There's lots of them. There's an enormous pile, so I'm just kind of going over there every once in a while and pulling wood out of it, stuff like this, and making stuff out of it. And I think it's awesome. I love it, especially it kind of fits the whole style of the Amish cabin since it's all built out of pine. And yeah, this is just another good example of something I can use for free, have a little fun. That really fits kind of the overall theme of the cabin. If you look really close, you can tell how rough it was when it was ripped. The mill is just like a bandsaw, and it just the wood gets pulled through the mill, and depending on how sharp it is really rough. So I just take about 80 grit in my DA sander and just hit it. I don't want it to get too nice, but I want it to not be rough enough like this, where if you ever get, I don't know, dirt and sand and dust like you're gonna get in a garage in it, you're never gonna be able to get this out. You know, you're gonna have to really fight with it. So I'm just going through, hitting it once or twice, leaving it pretty rough cut because I like the look, and then basically just cutting it up into the right shape, and we're gonna throw it up there, see how it looks. Now you can start to see why they didn't use this board. They got into a bunch of rot here in the center. But for what we're using it for, that doesn't really matter.
While Bryce is working on his window frame project, I thought I would start working on taking the sand out of the sandbox. Yes, the sand would be good for if we have kids come and play, but also there is a giant beach full of sand next to awesome water that's like 5 minutes away. And I think this just would be better to open up this space for our guests to come out and lounge and have a good time. So let's get started on this, and hopefully I don't hurt myself more because last week I strained my back really bad, so I'm gonna take it easy. All right, sandbox is removed. Patio is semi-clean. We're gonna have to use the power washer at some point when we get one that isn't damaged to fully clean this off, but I'm excited to get some screen up here and just make it feel cozy for our guests that come in the future. Also, don't mind my scratches on my head. I had a fight with a branch and the branch definitely won.
I'm pretty proud of this project. Turned out exactly like I had in my head. You can tell it's not perfect, right? There's still some gaps and edges because these are not like a consistent thickness, but who cares? Whatever. Looks way better than it did before. So let's keep this momentum and move on to the next one.
Okay, Bryce and I discussed, and I think we're gonna continue to tackle this screened in porch and just get the screen on so it actually becomes a screened in porch.
Yeah, right now it's just kind of a porch, but it's a cleaner porch than it was. It looks good in here.
Thank you. I didn't put sweat or blood, so that's good.
No blood?
No.
That's amazing.
Maybe some tears. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't believe you didn't hurt yourself while shoveling this.
Ooh, burn!
Woo! Okay, we found where all the ants are coming from.
Wow. They built this city on sand and wood.
Holy smokes. Here's what we decided on. We took the top fourth beam off and then went 3 and 3 and 3 so it's all consistent. And then we want to build like a bar you could basically stand at or sit at here and work, you know, kind of a computer desk sort of thing. So I'm going to do some framing in here and probably have maybe, I don't know, 3 uprights and then a cross beam, all treated 2x4s. And then from there, well, that's as far as I got. We need something to attach the screen to because this distance is more than 48 inches. So we are going to put the beam at maybe 45 or 46 inches. We have a little bit of overlap on the top and bottom, and then we'll use that for a bar. And then each one of these we can do, since it's 48 inches across, we can do like a piece of screen down and a piece of screen down. This one going across is going to have to be the 48 inches the long way, since we don't want to have like this view broken up with uprights, because it would take 3 and I think that would look pretty lame. That's the compromise. I think it's a good one because we want a table out here anyway, and I would love to continue to learn how to frame, and this is a nice way to do it because this is kind of like a baby step toward learning how to do our porch on the Amish cabin. have a million supports. It might be too many. It's 21 inches on center. And I think I just did the math wrong. I only wanted maybe 2 supports, and I took 106 and then divided it by 5. That gave me 21 inches. So I ended up marking that out, and this is how many supports it was. So, yeah, could have probably done with 2 less, but I don't know, we'll make it work. It'll be extra strong.
You just can't get enough support in your life.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. This is my first time ever building a frame like you would frame in a house. So I'm learning by trial and error here as we go. So bear with me.
I think it's good practice to frame a counter versus starting to frame a house with never framing something.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, this is a
safe project.
Definitely. I don't feel bad wasting a few 2x4s if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, we're gonna have a really strong bar, a lot of liquor.
Moment of truth. Okay, well, not the worst, not the best, but it will work.
That's why we're average. We're average people. It's just an average job.
After talking through some options for a bar top, this is what we landed on. I found this piece of wood. We need 106 inches in total length. This is 108, so I can cut down the edges, make sure it's square, which is awesome, having a little extra. It's not quite as thick as I would want. It's maybe 3/4, but it's free. Once again, just out of the pile of wood that I got for free, trimmings from the mill. It's still pretty wet, so I'm gonna sand it down, do the best I can here to clean it up, add a little bit of wood glue to this crack here and clamp it together, and then screw it in and just kind of let her rip for now until we find something better. There we go. It's the only piece of wood that I had that was longer or long enough without having 2 sections, because it's beyond 8 feet. And I think it would have been pretty goofy to have either it split in the middle or this little tagged on section, and wasting a whole piece of plywood for this doesn't seem to really make sense.
Also, this project was mid-thought while just trying to clean up this. I want to keep calling it a gazebo. It's not a gazebo. Screened-in porch. So Bryce did a good job.
Thanks. It stopped me on all the things I was trying to do besides this. And now I've been distracted and none of those are done. So the video is going to be a little weird because I'm not going to finish what I started.
And then we attempted to put the screen up and then our staple gun doesn't work. So I don't know. It's just how it goes.
That is how it goes. And I got to borrow one from my neighbor and we'll see if we can get some screen up today. But there's no way we're going to finish this.
But the bugs are definitely telling us why we need a bug screen. They are nuts right now.
They are relentless. They keep flying on my eyeballs and my ears. I'm covered in bug spray and they'll bite right through it. I have at least 50 bug bites on my body and it was so bad we had to put the dogs inside. They just gave up.
So, oh my God. Oh, right there. It's in my eye. Ow, ow, it's biting my hand. Okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, all right. I decided to make some supports here. I mean, this isn't that far. It's maybe like 6-7 inches or something. But this is just a pretty thin piece of wood that's wet, and I don't really want it to warp. So I came up with this. Pretty simple. Just kind of doubles the 2x4 basically, and make sure that you don't kick it with your knee. And I'm gonna just nail the top piece of wet pine into it so that it kind of gets rid of that warp that you see there. Because it's going to be drying. It's actually really wet. It sat out all winter, and I just don't have time to wait for this to dry right now, so it's just going to have to dry out here.
Like, look at this. This isn't fit.
It's like the 5th time I've covered myself. I thought the Minnesota bugs were bad. Whatever's going on here with these little gnat things that bite the crap out of us. Wisconsin. Holy crap. I thought black flies and stuff were bad, but these things, they're just flying in your ears and eyeballs endlessly.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
The cheap staple gun works. Thanks, Jeff. Well, that about does it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for the journey. We need to take the dogs on a quick walk and get out of the bugs, and I need to shower something fierce. So I hope that was fun. We were just doing a bunch of random stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys got some sort of enjoyment or learned something, or at least it was funny. All right, see you guys in the next episode. Come on, Cecil. He's looking for fish. Look at him.
Come on.
Come on. You're so brave. You're so brave.
You're such a brave girl.